Hi guys, Dave Mason here from The Niche Lifestyle, vlog number 6. Tonight's video, still based on the theme of change. It's about dealing with difficult people. Again, it's a personal perspective, so you can take it or leave it. And it's aimed at people in positions of responsibility and accountability. So, if you have staff or group or people that report to you, then this I'm hoping is going to help you. So I'm going to talk about 4 things. One is my personal experience in this particular area. Then I'm going to talk about a vlog that I did previously. Then I'm going to go through the process of actually dealing with a difficult person or people. And then I'm going to tell you a story to correlate with this particular process. So, my particular experience in this area, I spent, prior to managing the 6 businesses in the non-profit organisation, I worked for a company called Fisher & Paykel for 11 and a half years. The last 6 years of that 11 and a half years, I was given an unofficial title whereby I was in 7 departments in those last 6 years. My directive was pretty simple. I was given a short space of time to correct, fix KPIs within those particular areas. And in that particular time, had a lot to do with change management and people management. Suffice to say, it was great for my personal growth, but shit for my social life and well-being, unfortunately. But you know, those are the decisions people make. That's my experience. And vlog 4. Vlog 4, I spoke about change and why it's hard, and actually preparing to deal with difficult people. In it, I mentioned knowing the person you had to deal with, understanding the information you had to deliver, and making sure it was right and correct, and I'll go through that in a bit more detail. You had to provide the right format environment to deliver it in, whether it was formal, informal, casual, knowing that you had to get that information right and it had to be delivered in the right, for the right reason. And 4th was making sure the recipient, understood why they were getting dealt with. So that's vlog 4. Tonight is about the process of dealing with difficult people. First rule of thumb, get them on their own. Do the one-on-one. If it's a group scenario, group situation, get them out of the group, if at all possible. There's always one ringleader, always one person that they gravitate towards. Find out who that person is and deal with them one-on-one. Get to know them. Okay, that's first. 2, when you're sitting down to deal with them, make them comfortable or at ease. If you've just had a blow up with somebody, you know that trying to have a conversation with them, whether it's your missus, your partner, or someone you're having a run-in with, you're emotionally charged. There's high levels of anxiety. In this particular situation, right, we're not geared to listen. We're geared to respond. You know, for most of us, it's war. If someone's pissed you off, it's war. So, if you have to, wait an hour, wait a day, wait a week, but make sure they're comfortable when you go to sit down with them. Number 3, when they are comfortable, when they are agreeable and they will listen to you, inoculate them. Now, you've all been to the doctor, right? You've had a needle and a jab. You know it's good for you, but it's going to hurt. That's the message you need to get across to them. And you need to do it in the nicest way possible. Number 4, and this is critical, if they're at a point where they're willing to listen and learn, and you're both at a point where you're pretty calm, I have a saying, fuck them with the facts. There's no easier way to put it. There's no sharper way to put it. Fuck them with the facts. But there's 3 key points with this fucking with the facts point. One is, be prepared to be fucked with the facts. Okay? 2, do not, and I repeat, do not use personal opinion when you're trying to get a point across. Because personal opinions, as you know, is a personal opinion. It's not necessarily the facts. Stick to the facts. 3, if their facts are better and right and it's obvious, grow some fucking balls and apologize if you're wrong. I promise you, the trust that you build by apologizing if you're wrong will create a better platform for you both to work with. I've also got another saying. The adversary I fear most is the one most well informed. When I go into situations like this, I have the facts, I have the data, and I have the information. If you want to tussle with me, come better prepared. If you are better prepared, so be it. I'm more than happy, humble enough to realise, hey, there's a situation, and that's something that you have to do as well. If they've got the right information, you've got to do the same. Number 5, decision time. If all the information's been laid bare, all the cards are on the table, the decision part is the easy part. I also had a saying when I was at Fisher and Paykel that I've never fired anyone. And you can ask anyone if from Fisher and Paykel, I've fired a lot of people. Some people have said that I've made myself immune to it, but I promise you, you don't. I don't care who you are. If you're firing a person and they've got a family and they rely on that income, it's never easy. But I've always said I've never fired anyone. They've always fired themselves. If I've got the facts, if I've got the data, then they've basically did it themselves. I haven't. I've just provided them with the directions to the door. The last thing about tonight's video, and I wanted to keep it short, is I can't give names, but I had a guy working for me at Fisher and Paykel, and he was a pain in the ass. He was similar to the last guy that was there for 19 years, but he was only there for 9 years, and he was an angry puppet. So he was always ready to argue. Even though he was a specialist in one of my teams, he was always... And I used to watch him come in, and he was happy as Larry, but the moment he bundied on, there was like a metamorphosis, and I used to watch his face change. It was as if he was saying, so who is going to try and fuck with me today? Now, I knew this guy had potential. I knew he had, I just didn't know how to get him on board because he was an angry ant. Now, people will know who it is once I give the last bit of information, but I'll leave that till last. So, I took my own advice, right? Get them on their own. Find out what he's about. I heard him talking about him redoing his vows, and he was going to get married at home, but he had really long grass, so he wanted someone to come over and help him cut his lawn, and I offered to help. I needed to find out more about this guy, so I offered to help. I went over his place, helped him mow the lawns, and his guard started to come down. He started to become more relaxed around me. Bear in mind, I'd only been there 3 years, and I'd gone past him, and then now I was his team coordinator. So I was watching him, and they'd only had a baby about 7 months prior, and baby was starting to teeth. So he took baby, and I sat there with him, and this angry ant of a man, this fucking prick of a man, he rocked this baby, because it was teething. He rocked this baby for an hour and a half, cooing her, and, you know, being a daddy, being a really nice person. The following Monday, I called him into the room, and I said to him, because again, he clocked on, and it was like, what do you want? And I said to him, bro, where's the father I saw on Saturday? Where's the guy that I saw trying to, you know, make his baby feel right? And his guard started to come down even more. I said to him, you know, things have to change. I started to inoculate him. You know, we've got to go through this process of change, bro. You can't be angry with everyone all the time. And, you know, he snapped back at me, yeah, prove it. So I said to him, and this is the process of fucking him with the facts. I put together a questionnaire. And that questionnaire had 5 questions on, and they were all to do with his performance. And I got him to spend 5 minutes with the 13 people in my department and ask them questions about him and the way he operated and his MO in his position. Out of 13 people, he got to 5. He didn't get past 5. It became clear to him the pattern was the same. People gave him feedback he wasn't prepared to hear, I suppose. And that was that he was angry, he used to snap, you know, hard to get on with. That is the one way I got to use point number 4 about fucking him with the facts. The guy used to quote the award wage psalm and verse. He knew it back to front. So I had to find different ways of fucking him with the facts. Now, when you've had 5 people out of 13 give him feedback, they told him about his behaviour, he knew. He started to know. Decision time was easy. He made changes, started treating people better, and I actually made him a 2IC of the area. So let's just go over these 5 points. Just to clarify, that person had 1 leg. He had an artificial leg, and he worked at Fisher & Paykel. So for those of you that worked at Fisher & Paykel, you now know who I'm talking about. So the process of dealing with people, get them on their own, find out what they're about. Get them out of the group situation if you can. 2, remove the emotional charge, bring down the high anxiety, make them comfortable, make them at ease so you can talk to them. 3, inoculate them. Tell them it's not going to be easy. The process to change is never easy. Have you ever jumped on a bike, taken off like you've ridden it before? No, wobbly wheels. It's like the needle jab on the doctor. It's good for you, but it's going to hurt. 4, fuck them with the facts. Fuck them with the facts. Forget about opinion. Opinion is shit. Fuck them with the facts. Data, information, do not lie. Video, empirical evidence. Fuck them with the facts. It's difficult to argue with. 5, that makes the decision about whether you continue with this person or they continue really easy. So, that's the vlog 6 for tonight in dealing with difficult people. If you find it informative enough, please share the video, get it out there, like, comment. If you've got a question and you want to know more about my experience and you think I can help you, by all means post it or iMessage me. Okay, so here's Dave from the Niche Lifestyle team, thanking you for your time, and I hope this helps in some small way. Catch ya.